All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. So you want to climb that corporate ladder, huh?
Yeah, we saw Leadership Lisa's post too, and you know what? It got us thinking. Becoming a director, that's a big leap.
It is.
And we wanted to really dig into what it takes to make that jump, from manager to director.
Absolutely.
And lucky for us, we found this awesome LinkedIn article, and it really breaks it all down.
Okay.
But here's the thing. It's not just about more responsibility.
Yeah.
It's like a whole new way of looking at the business, especially, and this is a big one, when it comes to the financial side of things.
Yeah.
So let's start with what we know, right?
Yeah.
Being a manager, you're keeping things running, leading your team, whether you're all about that product or you're a project pro or you're, the process person or you're all about the people. You've got that manager mindset, right?
You got it.
But directors, they're playing a different game. What makes them so different?
It's a real shift in focus, from the how to the why. It even gets into the what's next. We're talking about setting the direction for entire departments, making sure everything lines up with the company's big goals.
So less about, okay, did we hit this deadline for this one project, and more about, is the entire department on track to hit these huge company-wide objectives?
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
And you know what that leads to? A big difference between managers and directors. P&L responsibility.
Ah, yes. P&L, the famous P&L.
Yeah.
For anyone who's maybe new to this whole I'm responsible for the money thing, what does that even mean in the life of a director?
Okay, so P&L, it stands for profit and loss.
Okay.
It's a financial statement, basically. Think of it like a report card for how the company or even just your department is doing financially.
Oh, okay.
Because as a director, you're not just managing the work anymore. You're managing the money that makes that work happen.
So I'm thinking back to that LinkedIn article we talked about. It mentioned these 4 key differences between managers and directors. Scope, financial responsibility, leadership, and then strategy. Let's break those down a little bit more.
Yeah, let's do it.
We touched on scope earlier. So managers, they have that narrower focus, and then directors need that big picture view, right?
Exactly. Yeah. You could have a social media manager. They might be laser focused on a single campaign.
Right.
But a marketing director, they're looking at the whole picture, the branding, the advertising, the PR, how it all fits together to reach those company goals.
And speaking of big picture, that takes us to financial responsibility. We've talked about it, but for someone who's like, okay, I want to be a director, what should they actually be doing to get ready for that?
Start thinking about the money today.
Oh, okay.
Like right now, with your work.
Yeah.
Every decision has a financial impact. So if you're suggesting a new project, think about the cost benefit. Could these resources be used somewhere else, maybe more effectively? Start looking at those financial statements we talked about, get comfortable with them.
That's a good point. And what about leadership? How does that evolve as you move up to that director level?
It's less about, looking over everyone's shoulder, micromanaging, and more about setting a culture.
Okay.
A culture of, we want to do our best here. So you're setting the tone. You're building that shared vision. It's about empowering your team. Here's the goal. Let's innovate. Let's grow. So it's less about telling people what to do and more about inspiring them.
I love that. Influencing without that direct authority. Okay, and last but not least, strategic involvement. This is where directors really get to think big picture, don't they?
100%.
Yeah.
As a manager, you're putting those strategies into action. But as a director, you're shaping them.
Oh, wow.
You're thinking about the challenges down the road. You're spotting the opportunities. You're making decisions that could impact the entire company.
This has been incredible. It's so clear that, this isn't just a promotion. Going from manager to director, that's a fundamental shift.
It is. And for all those aspiring leaders out there listening, I'll leave you with this. Imagine you get handed the P&L statement for your department.
Okay.
What's the first thing you look at and why?
That is a great question and something to think about. It's all about understanding the story behind the numbers. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. Keep that ambition going, and we'll see you next time.